There's a controversial bill that just passed the Iowa House of Representatives. It prohibits institutions like public universities and K through 12 schools from teaching, quote, defined concepts about race and sex. 3 News Now Western Iowa reporter Isabella Basco explains what those concepts are and shows us why the legislation is polarizing to people.
How could that possibly be helpful for our state? How could that possibly be helpful for our students, for our teachers, even for our communities, to not be able to have frank conversations because you're afraid of what might happen because of a poorly written bill?
ACLU of Iowa's executive director Mark Stringer gets heated when talking about this legislation, calling it chilling.
Do you believe at heart that the United States is fundamentally sexist and racist? And if so, why do we need to educate kids about that?
Well, there's no doubt that there are a variety of perspectives on U.S. history, on race, on racial relations. We don't think it's a good idea to be limiting speech in any way on those topics. We believe that free and frank conversation is the way to grow understanding.
State Representative Brent Segrist says the bill prohibits teaching 10 concepts, including one race or sex is inherently superior to another, and that the United States of America and the state of Iowa are fundamentally racist or sexist.
Some people believe that. I get that. But it's like, no, you don't get to make that generalized statement. But if you want to talk about police actions or you want to talk about racial discrimination or sexual discrimination, feel free, but you can't just say this is the way it is, because I don't think that's accurate.
How do you kind of approach from that point of view when people of color or marginalized people might, feel differently?
If a student gets to that decision and they think that Iowa or Nebraska is systematically racist, so be it, but they should get there on their own by having a balanced discussion.
Iowa State student Jacob Ludwig admits he interacts with biased professors, but doesn't think this bill is the answer.
If state legislators really do have a problem with, if they see this issue of bias on campus, I think there's better ways to work with the universities and the different institutions throughout the state to make sure that different political perspectives are being respected and heard and allowed to, express themselves on campus.
Reporting in Council Bluffs, Isabella Basco, 3 News Now.
The bill next hits Governor Kim Reynolds for approval.